Sup, fellow kids? I want to talk about. You know what? I can't even stand wearing that hat for more than 5 seconds. I was gonna make some joke about me being utterly relatable on YouTube now that I have a snapback on. Now that I appeal to the kids, I can appeal to the kids. Now that I hide my fucking shitty haircut, but instead, I'm just gonna go straight into this. These are some things I did as a child that were absolutely ludicrous. Some ludicrous thing. I was a bad boy. I was a bit of a bad boy. So here's some five. I don't know, fucking a number. I'm not going to say five because that's a cliche number. A certain number. We're just going to keep going until I run out of things to say. A number of things that I did when I was a kid that are absolutely mad. I was a mad lad. One of those things was I accessed websites without my parents' permission, mostly because my parents were too busy doing illegal activities to care about what I was doing. Well, my grandparents let me get on the computer all the time. Nobody gave a shit. I had free roam of the internet, and that has scarred me permanently as a human being. I don't ever want to go back to the internet. I don't like it. It's a very dirty place, and I found things that I just did not like there. A lot of things I did not like there on the internet. Just a whole smattering of things that I did not find acceptable. There's just a lot of shit on the internet. If you didn't know that already, we're here right now. We're in hell. One of the things I did as a kid was one time I lit a camper on fire. I lit a camper tire on fire. I was in third grade. I lived on a farm. Yeehaw. Yeehaw for all those Iowans out there. I lived on a farm. My dad rented the farm and he did illegal activities on it, but let's not get into that. He had a bunch of cars out back, a bunch of fucking cars. One of these cars was an old camper, and this old camper, I was like in third grade, and I was like, that'd be cool if I lit this camper tire on fire. Ooh, hell yeah! I just clapped. That's gonna fuck up the audio recording significantly. But yeah, I lit a camper on fire. I lit a tire on fire. My dad was very stern with me. Good old. And I was not inclined to ever light a camper on fire again. Nobody died. Nothing really went wrong. The camper was shit anyway. My dad just got rid of it. But yeah, that was neat. Another thing that I did that was really cool is one time I got home from school and my dad forgot to leave the door unlocked. And I waited 3 hours outside in the cold with no gloves. So I decided that I would just break a window. So I fucking broke a window and got into the laundry room. This is like, I got off of school at like 2:55. Got home, nobody would answer the door, waited until about 7, and then broke the window and broke into the laundry room. And my dad didn't find out that I broke the window until like a month later, and then boom, big old slap, big kick, big punch, child abuse. Funny story, makes me absolutely mad. Another thing that I did related to my father once again is my dad used to have, I don't know how the fuck to explain this. I absolutely have no fucking clue why he had this, but you know those totes? Like a big plastic tote. He had a big plastic tote full of change, like quarters and dollar bills and fucking just change. And looking back on this, knowing now that my dad engaged in illegal activities, it makes sense in a way. Did people pay him for drugs and change? I don't understand that. Some dude comes up with like $50 worth of quarters and buys just a baggie full of meth off my dad. Is that how that worked? Is that how that worked? I will never know. I'm not going to go up to my dad and be like, "Hey, Dad, tell me about drugs. Can you answer some questions for me about drugs?" It's like math, but replace the A with an E. I just want to know more about druggies, Daddy. Teach me more about druggies. I stole a fuck ton of change out of there though, and I used it to rent the Digimon game from the local rental place movie gallery when I stayed with my grandparents in their trailer, and that was another absolutely mad thing I did, and my dad found out, and bam. This is less a story about me doing crazy things and more a video about me doing things that made my dad hit me. Whew. I can't imagine the comment section now. Brendan, you deserved it. I was a bit of a cunt. I'm not going to deny that. I was kind of a cunt. I do not like child abuse. Going through it myself, it was a terrible fucking thing, but if I can use it for jokes, that's good. That's pretty much my life. My life is one big joke, and I like to make videos about my life being a big joke. Let's think of another thing. Here's the thing my brother did, not a thing that I did. While living on the farm, my little brother liked to play with fire. He liked to play with fucking fire. He loved fire. He loved the flames. Boom, boom, pyromaniac. But he, so there's a corn crib out back on our farm, and my little brother was just lighting corn on fire. Just lighting corn on fire and throwing it at the corn crib. Just fucking throwing corn that he lit on fire at a corn crib. You know, ethanol. Let me speak about ethanol. Let's get a little science lesson from Dr. Brendaniel here. Maybe I'll have a little graphic that pops up and goes, Dr. Brendaniel. But you know what? No. This is a very unscripted video. I don't want to do any of that shit. Fuck that. That requires editing, and YouTube videos and editing don't mix well. They don't. They're not for editing. Any idiots who edit their videos are just spending way too much time. You're not going to get any ad revenue that way. You're fucking stupid. But anyway, let's get back to the story. My little brother lit a fucking corn crib on fire, and he almost went to juvie. He didn't go to juvie, but he almost did. My dad talked the landowner out of sending him to juvie. The corn wasn't my dad's. He didn't use the corn to make meth or anything. He rented the farm, like I stated earlier. What's another fucking thing? One time, while I was a kid, I was staying with my grandparents, and they lived in a trailer for a time. I spray painted magical symbols on the inside of the trailer because I thought that somehow, for some reason, that would somehow protect me from demons that were hunting me. There are no demons hunting me. I'm a perfectly sane individual, but when I was a kid, I was absolutely terrified of demons hunting me. And looking back, I can kind of imagine why I thought demons were hunting me. Now that I think about it, that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? Another thing, I'm getting way too open here. This is weird. You're all gonna be like, oh, poor Daniel, don't give me his sympathy. Fuck you. I don't need your sympathy. I got over that. I got my therapy and I'm good to go. So I'm gonna tell these stories because it's funny. It's fucking funny. One time as a child, I tried to hot glue magnets to my head and my hands so I could climb a refrigerator. I wanted to be like Spider-Man. I don't know what possessed me. I don't know. Maybe it was one of the demons. I don't know why I wanted to climb a refrigerator, but I tried to. I tried to climb a refrigerator, and I regret that every single day. You can't even see any scars on my head. Can't even see any scars. There's none. But right here, palms of my hands. I got the hot glue on one of the magnets, stuck it on my head, and burning happened. Then I didn't try again. Never tried any of that shit again. Don't hot glue magnets to your head and your hands. Don't try to be some kind of super magnet man. You don't need to be Magnet Man. I'm going to need fan art of Magnet Man immediately. Please send me fan art on Twitter of Magnet Man. What you'd imagine he'd look like. He was terrible. Speaking of Magnet Man, what's another thing I did? I've kind of run out of mad things that I've done as a child. Now I'm just kind of trying to play for time while I'm recording this video. Let me think for a second. I'm thinking for a second. Give me 1 second to think. I don't know. One time it was really cool. I was hanging out with my cousin Johnny, and he threw a knife in the middle of the air out in a field, and it hit like a badger. I think it was like a badger or like a gopher or something in its head. It was like a medium-sized mammal. It was a furry creature. This was a long time ago, and I have a lot of repressed memories, so bear with me here. Now that I think about it, my childhood was kind of terrible, wasn't it? It was pretty fucking awful. Oh, one time I tried to play with my dad's gun. He had a gun in the cabinet, and I picked it up, looked at it, and then put it back because it was a gun. Don't play with guns. Don't do it. I probably would have been dead if I had played any further with that gun. One of the stupid things that I did as a kid was I used to draw on pieces of paper. I used to draw, and I would try to sell these drawings to my dad's like tweaked out friends. I had this little, it was like a little memo book, and I would draw on it, and I put it in a little box. It was a little like file box. It was like plastic file box. And I put them in there, and I'd write prices on the back of them, and I'd hand them out to my friends, and they would give me money for it. I made like $25. It was fucking awesome. That was the best day of my goddamn life. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, if you have any mad stories or just really odd stories from your childhood, I kind of got past the embarrassing high school moments in one video. If you have any weird childhood stories, please share them in the comments below. I like to read your stories. The childhood dreams video and the high school video was very fun to read through everyone else's kind of embarrassing moments and terrifying dreams. So if you thought you did anything totally wacky as a kid, then please share in the comments below. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to be a relatable YouTuber here. Am I doing it? Am I succeeding? Am I winning all the internet points here? I'm trying to suck off all these dicks. I'm just surrounded by dicks. This is just a wall of dicks around me. You can't see them. They're out of frame, but they're there. There are all these dicks that I'm trying to suck off. That's how you make it in YouTube. Quick YouTube tick. YouTube tick, fuck me. That's a tick that I have, not being able to speak correctly. Quick YouTube tip. Suck off as many other YouTubers as you can to gain their power. And then imbibe yourself with their power. Grow stronger. Take over the world. Or not. That's fucking stupid. That's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking said. I want to die now. I want to fucking die in a hole. Put me in a goddamn hole. Put me in a hole with a bunch of rats and let them eat my fucking body. All right. Goodbye.